Is it really so crazy for me to be on time for once? I swear it's not that crazy, right? I swear I'm not late that often. Anyways, we are finally back with another coding stream. It's been a long time since we last had a coding stream now. Yeah, today we're going to be, hello everybody. Today we're going to be trying some vision stuff. This doesn't really fit well into anywhere inside of my timeline. So I just decided why not try and give it a try today. So what we're going to be trying to do today with vision is I want to just get a basic tool going, like a test tool or something, to take any sort of image, like a screenshot from a screen or maybe some image from IRL, and then describe it in a way that is actually usable for something like Project JAISN or something. I haven't done any research into this, so I've got no clue what I'm doing. I'm probably just going to be as lost as you are throughout the rest of this stream, but hopefully things go well. You love doing vision stuff, aka sending images to Gemini API and let it do its thing? Yeah, we could do that. We could send just like image content to some third-party service and see how that works. But I want to try something that is local, right? Because it's very easy for us to just integrate with OpenAI and be like, okay, that works fine, right? And probably OpenAI solution is going to be better than whatever we come up with today. But just for like learning purposes or whatever, I want to at least give it a try here. Gonna be interesting to do it locally. Yeah, I haven't even done any research into what kind of models are out there for this sort of thing. I really hope there are some competent ones that we could easily run. I'm sure we'll find some on Hugging Face. There are probably plenty on Hugging Face actually. Yeah. Without further ado then, let us get started. Oh, what happened to my monitor capture? Oh, okay, hold on. I think I know what's up. Is this the right one? No. There we go. Yeah, for some reason my monitor capture is reset. There we go. Alright. And I haven't actually coded anything for like the last week, I'd say. Last week and a half. I haven't opened VS Code to actually code anything. So I might be a little bit rusty. Image captioning models will be the bare bones compared to GPT Vision or Gemini's, at least from what I tested, but it is fast as fuck. Yeah, I don't know if a captioning model is enough for what we need, because we need a pretty thorough description of what's in the image. That way we better translate whatever's in the image to whatever we're actually looking for. And something that would also be nice is if we're capable of, I guess, prompting the model as well, so that way we can pull specific information about what's on the image, right? Dedicated vision models or multimodal would be the move. Yeah, that's what I hope to achieve today. So before we get started, let's make a quick test project. Vision tool, I guess. And this will be Python 3.10. I do know that vision language models take a lot of GPU power, but let's see what comes up. I have no idea about anything inside of the vision language model space or any sort of vision model space. This is going to be interesting to see. Isn't VITS a vision model or a vision kind of model? One that's more centered around vision? Because I know there's like GPT VITS and whatever, not like SOVITS, right? It's not the same as GPT SOVITS, which is a text-to-speech model, but GPT VITS or some sort of VITS, I'm pretty sure that kind of model is more focused on transforming vision into some sort of classification or even like a series of tokens. Okay, we have our environment, we have our, I guess, project here. So let us go to Hugging Face and find some models we have. You've discussed this before, but VLM will have better context and fine-tuning data. So it will pick up cues that a Minecraft screenshot is from Minecraft, while most image captioning wouldn't even know it's from Minecraft. Okay, so vision language models, right? I guess with a vision language model as well, we should be able to include prompts to better guide the captioning of that image, which will probably be more useful for us for Project JDISON. But yeah, let's go to Hugging Face and let's just see what kind of models they have on here. So for models, we have image text to text, right? This is exactly what we need. We could do image to text, but if we want prompting, we need text as well as an input parameter. And with this, we have a couple of them. Let's see if there's any that we recognize. We have Quinn. We have Dots VLM. We have none of them are really appended as VLM, but I'm assuming that all of these are VLM if they are image and text. So let's just, I don't know, sort by, I don't know, most downloads, most likes. Most likes, we have all of these. I keep seeing this Moon Dream one, but I don't know if it's any good or not. Quen Instruct. Instruct would be fine in this case, since we're not really creating a personality model or needing to fine tune it, at least for now. Although there's also this Quen 2.5 one. Let's try this. Let's try Quen 2.5 VL 7 billion Instruct. Is there a quick demo on this? All right. Quickly install this using UV. Ooh. It's gonna keep these dependencies here for later, so I actually know what dependencies I've downloaded. All right, so the code for Quen 2.5 VL has been in the latest Hugging Face transformers, and we advise you to build from source with command this, or you might encounter the following error. Okay, that's fine. Keep this to the side. I haven't actually worked with Hugging Face models directly, at least for quite a bit of time, so hopefully I still remember what to do. We offer a toolkit to help handle various types of visual input more conveniently, as if you were using an API. This includes base64 URLs and interleaved images and videos. You can install it. Base64 URLs and interleaved images and videos. Okay. You can install it using this. So this is just like a toolkit, right? These aren't actual AI models or anything. Just some helper functions to help us process images to be inserted into the Quen model. We can use this for now, but I would like to try making my own tools at some point just for learning purposes. Because I feel like image manipulation is something that is useful to know. Oh, it might take us a little bit of time to download Torch and all of that as well as the model. I'm not sure how big this model is. 7 billion parameters. That might take like 5 minutes to download for me. We have a bit of downtime. If you're not using Linux, you might not be able to install dcord from PyPy. In that case, you want to use these utils, which will fall back to using Torch Vision for video processing. However, you can install dcord from source to get dcord used when loading video. We're just going to use this. That's fine. And then using the transformers to chat. Okay, so I do have a template project for us to pull from. This is specifically for... Okay, let's just copy paste this over. We'll figure it out. Still downloading the dependencies from earlier, so that's going to take a little bit of time. Let's just get coding while that happens in the background. What? S16, welcome. Just trying our hand at some vision stuff today. Alright, so this is their example code. Using transformers and QuenVL utils. So we do need to install QuenVL utils. Where's my cat redeem? Bro, I do not have enough time to make that right now. Okay, we've done installing. Let's install these other dependencies. Don't those blocks have copy to clipboard on the top left instead of copying all? Yeah, they do, but I tend to forget about them. And this is using, what version of PyTorch is this using? I need to install the one that has GPU compatibility. So this is the latest version. Okay. Install PyTorch. Pip, Windows, Python. Holy, we're up to CUDA 12.9? All right. I need to force reinstall. All fun and games until Jay Ison sees your 10 terabyte homework folder. I'll make sure she can't do that. We're gonna have like a entirely separate computer cleaned up and quarantined for her. That way everything I have on here is safe. How much porn? Yo. We can't be asking that here. I got 0. I'm clean, guys. I am the cleanest VTuber there is on this platform. Cap? Sure. Well, you guys have no evidence against me, so that's all I'm saying. I got less incriminating evidence against me than Vito does against him, you know? I think it happens if more than one person does it. He hesitated, Lamau. Well, you know, I am like incapable of speech sometimes. My hesitation is just a natural part of my speech. Downloading Torch is going to take a little bit of time, so let's just go through this code. Okay, so we have here, we're importing some stuff from transformers. This is VL for conditional generation. I guess this is the specific model, right? 2.5 VL. And we have our auto tokenizer, which is commented out somewhere, and our auto processor. This is a image processing tool of some sort, process vision information. Sure. I have no idea what that does. We'll see, I guess. So we're loading the model, this one from the GitHub, not the GitHub, the Hugging Face. Torch D-type, auto, device map, auto. We're gonna change this CUDA. So we're gonna use our GPU for this. And what is this saying? We recommend enabling flash attention to for better acceleration and memory saving, especially in multi-image and video scenarios. Sure, I guess. I don't think it would hurt anything if we just enable that. You might watch the TV on a stream, or the stream on a TV. Ain't no way. Torch. We need to import Torch for that. Yeah, watching Limit on the big screen. This guy is balling out here. And then the default processor, but maybe we can also configure this. The default range for the visual, for the number of visual tokens per image in the model is 4 to whatever this amount is. Okay, so this is the default processor. I'm not sure what the processor is actually used for in this case. No, the processor is probably akin to the tokenizer for a normal LLM. So this is probably take the image and tokenizing it into image tokens. Because we aren't using the auto tokenizer anywhere, are we? Yeah, we're not using this anywhere. I can even just like get rid of this. So the auto processor is like the auto tokenizer counterpart for a vision model. And what do we have here? You can set the minimum pixels and maximum pixels according to your need, such as a token range of 256 to 1280 to balance performance and cost. Sure, why not? Let's enable that as well, I guess. Oh wait, this is configuring it. Okay, so we can disable this one then. This will give us a auto processor that has these minimum and maximum pixel count of values. Okay, and now for messages. Shadows, thank you for the 4-month sub. Wait, 4 months? Even subscribe for 6 months. Oh wait, I never understand what these messages say. Does this mean you subscribe for 4 more months? Yeah, it says you resubscribe for 4 months and they've been subscribed for 6 months. But it won't let me? Your credit account has been fucking blocked, man. Your card has been locked. You've been spending too much. You need to chill on your spending, man. You need to chill on your gambling. It's been 5 months straight, but I subbed 6 months ago. Okay, yeah. So they've been subbed for 6 months. Okay. I don't get the resubscribe for 4 months part though. That part's always lost on me. To limit progressing would wait, what? To limit progressing, would the results from the vision model go directly into short-term memory? And have her respond to it when asked? Yeah, something like that. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, RDG. Thank you for the gifted sub to S16. Oh my god, we haven't had a hype train in a while. Oh, to limit processing, would the results of the vision model go directly into short-term memory and have her respond to it when asked or when she wants to? I think... I'm not sure how I would want to integrate this into JEISIN just yet, but this would be something... This would be like all the other contexts that we have, right? Like Twitch chat context or MCP context. All of that information would just go directly into her context window. I'm not going to use the term short-term memory because we might have a dedicated module for that in the future, but I'm not sure. For sure though, it will just go directly into the script because she needs that information if she wants to use it for something like, I don't know, a React stream or for playing a game or something like that. What do we have here? Messages. This seems a lot like, what's it called? OpenAI's messaging structure, right? Where they have an array of messages and then they have the role, user, and then the actual content. But the content here is formatted a little bit differently. We have a object for an image, and this image points to an actual URL. And then we also have this text, describe this image. So this is the prompt, right? Let's see what is inside of this image actually. Hopefully this doesn't get me banned or something. Oh, it downloaded something. Okay. We're fine with this. This is fine. This is fine, yeah. So we have a doggo and a girl. And that's from a JPEG URL. So let's ask it. Or I guess we can first ask describe this image, but then later we can also ask it to say what breed is the dog. I'm assuming it's a golden Labrador or a golden retriever. I cannot fucking English today. Bro, how long is this torch package gonna install for? Sorry, we've been here for like half an hour now. It's almost the same to how you do it within the Gemini API. The thing is, I've never used those parts of the API, and I've never actually used an API outside of OpenAI's for responses and stuff like that. So this is my first time actually doing anything in terms of images through an API. Those bits. Thank you, RDG, for the 100 bits. I didn't even know you could customize bits like that. Only reason I do is because you don't have to register and pay anything, lol. Oh, it's free through the Gemini API? Huh. Interesting. Okay, so we construct our messages here, and then we ask it, or the text, processor apply chat templates. Okay, so again, this is applying a chat template, so this is all going to be a, wait, on messages, tokenize, false, add generation prompt, true. I wonder how it handles this image content for a chat template, because chat templates are normally for text, right? Just straight up text, but it's not actually turning it into a series of tokens or anything. Haku, thank you for the 100 bits. Wait, I thought your fucking bank account was locked. What happened? Process vision information. Oh, okay. So this processor, bro, guys, chill. What the fuck is going on? RDG, thank you for the 5 community gifted subs. 5 gifted subs. PayPal's a W? Brother, you need to stop spending. You need to save money for yourself. Speaking of which, I also need to start saving money because, like, I did my finances for the first time since coming back from Germany. I haven't done my finances in like almost a year, right? And I added up everything in accordance to how much I spent and how much money I actually made from my job. Guys, I am $8,000 in debt in comparison to when I started tracking. I am $8,000 down in income. Yes. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy how much money I've spent. That's rough. It is kind of rough. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, bro, how the fuck did I end up spending that much money? $8,000? That's like how much I would spend in half a year. That's how much I would spend in half a year. Like, just raw in terms of expenses. But this is expenses minus income. Didn't you buy a PC? That's like 3,000 at most, right? That's 3,000 at most. The graphics card is like 1,000 at most. Where did the other like 4,000 come from? So I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, bro, I don't even know how I'm spending that much money because I feel like I don't buy that much stuff, but maybe I did buy a lot of stuff inside of Germany. I know I did take a couple trips inside of Germany, and I couldn't get refunds for a lot of the stuff that I did miss while doing those vacations, like missing my flight to Spain, not being able to refund the hotel in Spain and missing the flight back. Like, maybe that accounts for another like 1,000, 2,000 at most. I don't fucking know. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how I've spent that much money, especially when I've also like deducting the amount that I am gaining from my day job and stuff. For the ramen bucket? What ramen bucket? What ramen bucket? Wait, is this fun? Oh my... Oh wait, is Hype Train over? Oh my god, RDG, what the fuck? Thank you for the 10 gifted again. What are you doing, bro? You're just feeling a little extra generous today. For food? Okay, I said I'm $8,000 down in terms of profit since I started tracking, but that doesn't mean I'm like actually bankrupt, guys. It's the Miku's fault. Miku's only 550. Miku's only 550. There's still like a couple thousand missing. Like, since the start of this year, I've already spent, I think in total, 16,000, which is a lot, right? 16,000. Yeah, 8,000 down now. 8,000 down now over the last 2 years that I've been tracking. But that's only like taking into account my actual job income. It's not taking into account like my investments, which is where I make most of my money, to be honest. I don't know how. If I knew how, I wouldn't be saying this. So I'm just like, okay, we need to like cut the amount that we're spending on food now. We need to start like starving a little bit more, you know? Now that we're no longer working in the lab 24/7, I no longer need to spend $5 on Monster every single day while inside of the school. Thank you, RGG, for another 100 bits. Are you coming after the top donor spot? Because this is what it seems like. The top spender spot. This is actually taking forever. It's not even progressing anymore. Like, what is going on here? Thank you, Haku, for the tier 1 sub. Hello, gamers. Welcome, Anthony. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in chat. Or, yeah, I haven't seen you talk in chat, at least. That much. Jesus Christ, Haku. Thank you, Haku, for the 1,000 bits. Brother, why are you guys competing? This is not a flex to see who can spend the most money in one stream. Okay, but as I was saying, I'm pretty sure what is happening here with the processor, I said earlier that the processor or the auto processor is kind of the equivalent to the auto tokenizer, but it's a little bit different because this has like a chat template inside of it. So I'm assuming what it has is something like
thank you so much for the sub. Oh my god, guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Haku, for another tier 1 gifted.
Cookland gifted a tier 1 sub to Gear Twister _.
You guys
they
are
have given
fucking
14
crazy.
gift subs in the channel.
You guys are actually crazy. We were at 6 subs for the longest time, ever since like the first couple of months since I started streaming, and now we're back at 28. I haven't seen this number that high since the first 2 months. Y'all are crazy. Thank you, RDG, for another 1 gifted. What the hell is happening? I am just as confused as you are. So what I'm assuming is happening here is that this apply chat template is still constructing a string like as follows, right? It's still constructing the string as follows. Then we have response. So it's going to have the URL here, it's going to have the user input, and it's going to have the response, but no end token just yet, right? This is going to be the input to the next part, this process vision info. Jesus, man. Thank you, Haku, for the, how many is that? 2 tier 1 subs or 3 tier 1 subs? No, 2 tier 1 subs. My gosh. I'm finally watching this shit on TV. What the hell is happening? RDG and Haku are having a spend off, and I have no clue what prompted this, but sure. Magic is happening. Magic is happening.
Is this a timer stream?
Fuck! I forgot the timer. Honestly, I don't even know how many hours I'm at right now. I need to go back to the streams to actually figure that out. But you know what? I'll just add it to the timer later. Please give me a sub too. Oh wait, I got it? Yeah, you did get it. You were like the first one to get it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, what's happening here is that they just put the URL inside of the text prompt like this, but they don't actually do anything with this. Thank you, RDG, for another tier 1 gifted. They don't actually process this into tokens just yet, but when they put it through this pipeline, this process vision info, it's going to go through the entire string. It's going to see this URL header, and whatever URL is inside of here is going to download the actual image from the internet and then insert the, I guess, base 64 bytes directly under this header. And then when it passes it into the processor, it will tokenize all of this text as well as the actual image itself. So this isn't going to be the image anymore. It's just going to be image and then some random like fuck ass bytes, right? That's what it's going to be. And so that's what all of this does. This process vision info is going to be very specific to this Quen model specifically. Thank you for the 300 bits, RDG. Wait, you gave Godly a sub? I mean, yeah. I don't know how gifting subs works. 19 gifted subs. Are all of those from today, by the way? I feel like all of those are from today. That is crazy, you guys. We're gonna send inputs to CUDA. We're gonna process it, send the inputs to CUDA, and then we're gonna generate, what is this? Generated IDs. Generation of the output inference. Models.generate. So this is gonna give us the output tokens, I'm assuming. And then generated IDs trimmed. Also, this has not moved whatsoever. maybe we should just restart it. Generated IDs trimmed. The out IDs or in IDs and out IDs in zip inputs in IDs and generated IDs. Length of in IDs. IDs. Oh, yes, okay. So I don't remember if you guys remember what I described last stream about how LLMs work and specifically with how their prompts work, right? Simply put, all they do is generate one token at a time, and the inputs to that token, the inputs into a model is everything from the previous generation. Oh, hype train ended? Hype train ended at level 6. Is that the highest we've ever had? Because that's actually crazy amounts. You guys actually donated a crazy amount this time. 23 gifted subs, 1600 bits. Like, what the fuck, guys? What the fuck? Y'all need to chill on the spending. You're broke now? You want some of your money back? Like, what the fuck? But as I said before, like, all LLMs do is they generate one token at a time. So this might be the initial inputs, but we might get something like hello, and then this becomes the new input for the next generation. And then we get hello world, and then at the very end we get end. And this is finally what we get. So what we're seeing here with these output IDs is actually all of this, including the initial prompt. And so what we're saying here is we're going to take the final result. We're going to take the final entire block of text, and we're just going to trim off that little bit. So we're just left with hello world and the end token. And that is what we're getting from generated IDs trimmed here. The output text is then using the processor to take off the end token, as well as any other special tokens. And then we'll get our generated output text. So once this finishes downloading, we can give it a try. No refunds is for the ramen bucket. How big of a bucket are we talking? How big of a ramen bucket are we talking? Am I like going to Home Depot or something, getting a 10-liter bucket or something? Something you would mix cement in? That would be awful. Imagine making ramen inside of a cement bucket and eating out of it. 55-gallon drum of ramen. I was thinking one day I might let J.E. Eisen decide what I cook for a day. Or I might even let J.E. Eisen come up with a recipe for me and I have to cook it on stream. But if she tells me to go out and buy a 55-gallon drum of ramen, I am fucked. I am actually fucked. How many calories would 55 gallons be? How many calories are in ramen? How many calories in ramen? Okay. It's like 436 per 100 grams, right? Kilograms to gallons. Kilograms to gallons, that would approximately be 3.76. So 30, let's say 38. 3,800 grams per gallon. Let's get a calculator. 38 times 55, holy shit, multiplied by 436, a 55-gallon drum of ramen is 911,000 calories. Who wants to do the 1 meal calorie challenge with me? Holy fuck. Oh my god. That is 450 days worth of calories right there. How big is a 55-gallon bucket of ramen? There's no way. 55-gallon bucket nor barrel. It's not even like, it's like an oil drum. You're telling me a drum, a normal oil drum of ramen could feed me for over a year? I find that hard to believe, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I could clear this in maybe, I don't know, 100 days? I feel like it isn't that much, but I might be crazy. What kind of ramen is this even? This is just a soup. It's not even counting like the noodles or anything. This is gonna take forever. Okay, what else can we look at? Using transformers in chat. This is exactly the same thing, right? We already looked at this. What else do we have here? We strongly advise users, especially those in mainland China, to use Model Scope to help solve issues concerning downloading checkpoints. Okay. Oh, we still need to download the model checkpoint, which is another 5 GB. Potato internet? Yes, I know I have potato internet, okay? I don't own my network. I'm literally in student housing, basically. And what is this? More useful tips. For input images, we support local files, base64, and URLs. For videos, we currently only support local files. Okay. So we can do URLs, sure, but the more interesting one to me is local files, because that's easier to control. As well as base64, but these are like interchangeable basically for me. This allows us to get the, wait, is this the same? Image. Huh. They probably just have some sort of regex to determine whether this is a online image or a local file path or a just straight up image. Wait, no. Data image base64 and then the actual bytes to it. Okay. Versus a path versus an HTTP path. Okay. Image resolution for performance boost. The model supports a wide range of resolution inputs. By default, it uses the native resolution for input, but higher resolutions can enhance performance at the cost of more computation. Users can set the minimum and maximum number of pixels to achieve the optimal configuration for their input needs, such as token counts, okay, to balance speed and memory usage. Okay. I guess while we're downloading, I can try and describe what's going on here for those who aren't too familiar with vision models and specifically VLMs. I guess for traditional vision models, or at least the vision models that I'm thinking of, right? Classification vision models, like basic neural networks or whatever. Normally they would have a fixed input size, so a fixed kind of dimensions to the image. Like you can only input 256 by 256 images, and that will get you some sort of classification, right? This is like the very traditional versions using, I don't know, convolutional neural networks or something like that. But if you wanted to, say, classify something that's bigger or smaller than 256 by 256, then you can either like trim or no, crop the edges until it is 256 to 256. If it is smaller, you can pad it with like black pixels or something, or you can like stretch / compress the image into those dimensions, right? Then you would send it through the normal neural network and you would get some sort of classification or something like that. But these models are a little bit different. VLMs are a little bit different because instead of generating a single classification, we need to be able to generate a series of words. And like all LLMs or whatever, it's recursive. So every time it generates a new, I guess, word or something, this plus the image needs to get sent back through the LLM So that way we can get the next output. And then we can take this, replace you, and then now we get this with the end token, right? So we need to be able to support variable outputs, which this old method is not capable of. And so just like how we have LLMs that are able to support varying lengths of text and whatnot, we also have the ability to support that with visual language models. And with visual language models, we finished downloading, sick. I'm just going to, I'll run it in a second. For visual language models, it's exactly the same thing as large language models with one minor difference, I'm assuming at least. And it's that inside of their prompts, they have a section for an image. And this image section will contain, I guess, the actual image bytes or something like that, as well as the actual user inputs, and then the response. And so all it's really doing is it's taking the original bytes that would be passed into a normal vision model and instead turning them into tokens, which are then inserted directly into the, I guess, the rest of the input string you would normally give to an LLM, right? Of course, these tokens are a little bit more specialized, but then this allows us to treat it exactly the same thing as a normal LLM, where it can recursively generate the next kind of like tokens or whatever, right? Hello, and then next thing it would be world, and then end. And then this is effectively the same thing, right? Again, it's still the large language model, but with specialized tokens for images and different processors to help us process the actual images into the proper tokens. And so when we say, what was I going to say? This also allows us to kind of support different dimensions and different token amounts for these models, right? We aren't confined to 256 by 256 or whatever fixed dimension we have for an image, because we can tokenize, quote unquote, the image to an arbitrary length of tokens inside of this prompt here, right? This can be any sort of length, but they've chosen to like hard fix it here to a range. So 256, of course, this is going to be less quality because it's a lower resolution. We have less tokens to kind of describe the image versus 128, 1280, which will be kind of like their max quality or even higher quality. And it's kind of like the same thing as embeddings, where you can have different sized embeddings to store the semantics at a higher or lower resolution for a piece of text. It's kind of like the same thing, right? Where instead of doing an embedding vector, we're doing a length of tokens. Limit a website I mod for. The fucking soy jack boards have found it and we are like, oh fuck, what? Limit a website I mod for. The fucking soy jack boards have found it. We are like, oh fuck. I have no idea what any of that means. I do not know who the fucking soy jack boards are. I do not know what this entails. Soyjack is a board like 4chan, but 10 times worse. Brother, how many things are you moderating and why are they all so cursed? Okay, anyways, we finished downloading Torch here with CUDA, so we should be able to run this now. We will need to spend some time to actually download this Quen model, so it won't be instant at the moment. Let's just run it. python./main.py. And let's see how long this takes. They were the ones who hacked 4chan and took it down? Okay. Good luck with that. Oh god. I mean, What is this website even for? Are they even interested in taking it down? Is it like another subreddit forum kind of thing? Oh, this is gonna take forever, isn't it? I wish it actually showed me. I wish it actually showed me the progress of the download, because for some reason it isn't. Normally it does. But maybe I'm thinking of Hugging Face. Anyways, this is probably going to take some time then. The Eye of Sauron has come down on Haku. Oh, we're downloading. Oh, fuck. It's so big! Okay. Hopefully... No, there's no way. It's so big! What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17 gigabytes? There's no way this is 17 gigabytes, right? Tell me this is 17 gigabits. Tell me this is 17 gigabytes. Okay, judging by the... Okay, judging by the size, it's megabits. Okay. We're fine. It's fine. Everything's okay. But this is still gonna take a really long time, it seems. Is that 56 minutes? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. I should have downloaded this before stream. Oh, fuck. Okay, we're gonna be here for a little bit. I'm gonna get a drink of water. I'll be right back. I am back. It's not time to share memes of potatoes. We're watching Limit Download today, no coding. That's how it goes a lot of the time, off stream. I spend like, oh my god, you don't know how, at home, especially when I was first starting Project J.E. Eisen, there was that one video, there was that one video where I was trying to fine-tune for the first time on my local, right? Using Unsloth or whatever. That video took fucking forever. Hold on, let me get the actual video. Where was it? This video right here, I cut out and I didn't time it, but it took me 50 hours to just download the models in order to fucking fine-tune anything for that video. And you wanna know why? This is like the part that I'm worried about, especially now that I'm finishing up university and I'm about to move back home for a little bit. The thing that I am most worried about is my internet speed at my parents' house, okay? I started Project J.E. Eisen while I was at my parents' house doing an internship and whatever. And now that I'm finished university, I have to move back with them for a little bit before I move to another country. But the thing is, the internet is so bad. It is unbelievably bad how bad the internet is there. Like, you thought 5 megabytes per second is bad? Brother, at my household with my parents, we aren't even measuring in megabytes per second, okay? We are measuring in kilobytes per second. And not the high ends of the kilobytes per second. We are measuring in around 100 to 200 kilobytes per second. It is horrible, okay? So when, I'm gonna be moving back sometime towards the end of August. And I'm gonna be there until November, late November the latest. So for a long period of time, the internet's gonna be really, really bad. And I might take a little bit of a break during September, or maybe even like early or late August or early September or something like that. But it's first of all, I'm graduating. Or actually, I should probably mention something about that. I'm quote unquote graduating, and my parents are retiring. After this hella busy semester, I kind of want to go on a bit of a vacation, and I thought, like, since I'm moving to a new country, my parents are retiring, I might as well spend a little bit of time with them, right? While I still can. And so probably sometime in September, I might be going on vacation for a little bit, so no streams during that time. But at the same time, I also need to fucking fix the network inside of my parents' house and figure out what the hell is going on so I can set up something for streaming, right? It's going to be a little bit awkward streaming from my parents' house as well because, well, they don't know I'm doing all of this. And I'm not sure if they would approve of me doing all of this, spending all of my time on fucking Project JEIs instead of like studying or sleeping or actually fucking living a proper life. So streaming, especially dev streams, are probably going to be a lot rarer until I finally move out of the house. And there's another thing I want to talk about as well. I don't know how much you guys are going to be. I'm making AI waifu and not studying. Mom, are you proud of me? I think they would be proud of me. You know, YouTube videos when, that's another thing. Let me first say this. I don't know how much of you would actually care, but I just want to get this off my fucking chest because I want to rant about it. Yesterday was a fucking shit show for me. I'm used to a lot of bad shit happening to me, right? Especially in terms of my career, right? I got fired from my internship before I could even start the internship. I got delayed a whole term because of that. And the school has been cucking me left, right, and center ever since I joined this university. Well, I was planning for this term to be my very last term, and for me to graduate after this term, so basically coming October, I'll have my convocation graduation ceremony. Yippee, I can go to Germany. Here's the thing. Yesterday, I got an email in the morning from my advisors, and they told me, we have rejected your graduation form. Why? Let me show you something. My school, we have graduation requirements for our program, right? And we, unlike other schools, they get like an online checklist which automatically fills out so you know how you are progressing towards your graduation. Our school, despite being the top computer science university in the fucking country, maybe like one of the top in the world, we have the worst technical infrastructure for students. And pretty much, we don't have a system that tracks our progress towards graduation. You have to just track that shit yourself. Luckily, we have this checklist. I'm just gonna show it because honestly, it's fine. You guys probably already know what university I go to. So let me just graduation checklist. Is this the HTML? Doesn't look right. Now, where the fuck is it? We have this checklist. Okay, whatever. We have this checklist, right? And it says, okay, you need this course, you need this course, you need there's like a long list of courses. And then there's also a long list of like restrictions on the courses, like breadth and depth requirements. If you got to university, it's probably, most of you probably already know this, especially if you gone to a university in Canada. But pretty much, I've already filled out this entire checklist. And I said to myself, okay, there's also this requirement that we need to complete 40 unique courses. We need to pass 40 unique courses. And I looked at my checklist and I'm like, okay, I passed 41 courses by the end of this term, right? 41 courses passed, which is why during some of these streams, whenever I talk about my course stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm like fine with failing one course because it still means I'm able to graduate. Well, they come up to me and they're like, you don't meet the requirements to graduate, so we've rejected your graduation form. And I'm like, the fuck? But I have 41 unique courses passed. How the fuck am I not graduating? I've met all of the depth and breadth requirements. I pretty much have a minor in psychology as well. Like, I have everything. I've like even done more than was actually asked for. And they're like, oh, it's because you have 19.75 course units out of 20. And I'm like, what the fuck is a course unit? Apparently, every single course is worth 0.5 course units. Why is it not 1? I don't fucking know, okay? Somebody in the higher ups just decided, you know what, let's be quirky, 0.5, because you know what, the work you do in a course isn't actually work, you know? Because fuck you, that's why. And so each one is 0.5. Okay, well with 41 courses, this should mean I have 20.5 course units, right? Which is greater than 20. This means I should still pass, right? Nope, fuck you. You know why? There's one course at the very beginning of your entire career called MTHEL 199. It's like an introductory math course, right? Guess what? This is only worth 0.25. Okay, no problem. Then that would mean I have 20.25, right? Nope. You have another course. There's another course, which in your third or second term, it replaces one of the courses you've selected, and this is worth 0. And so I have 19.75 out of 20 course units for graduation, which means I am not 1 course off of graduation. I am not 1 course off. I am half a course off of graduating. I am half a course off from graduating. And I'm like, brother, there is no way I am taking another term at this shitty ass university for 1 fucking course, for half a unit, for half a course unit. Like, what? You can't be serious. I'm probably just gonna take like an online course, do an online exam, and like, while I'm in another country and say, fuck you, I'll just graduate in another year or something. But after talking to the academic advisors and all of that stuff, well, they didn't propose a solution, but I did some digging online, and I found out that you can probably supplement course units with stuff like, I don't know if you guys in America have this as well, but using IB courses or AP courses or other A-level exams. And I have an AP Calculus. I have SAT, Chem, Physics, and Math as well. So I'm hoping like at least one of these counts for something. And it's at least half of a fucking course. I'm kind of worried because these SAT ones, I am not sure if they count as A-level exams. And AP Calculus, I'm not sure if this will count because I already taken Calculus for my program. So I'm not sure if this will actually count as a supplementable. But this is my last saving grace. Otherwise, I will have to take another term with this fucking crappy ass university. They're like milking me for all my money. For what? For what? I am already 8K in debt. Why are we still milking me for money? It is so annoying. It is so annoying. And so that was how my yesterday went. And I'm just like, man, I can't even be sad. I've like run out of the ability to be sad with this fucking university. I'm just disappointed in the system. That's all. There was a part of me that was like, you know what? How much of an alpha move would it be to drop out of university with one course left to go. I'll be like, you know what? I could have gotten a degree if I really wanted to. I was half a course off, but I decided, fuck it, I don't wanna. I don't need your shitty ass degree. But then all my friends were like, no, bro, that's fucking stupid, don't do it. So here I am still. I don't know. Reasonable crash out. It's been like so fucked ever since I came into university. I mean, part of the onus is on me for not actually checking and making sure that I actually have 20 course units, but at the same time, it's like, I am not the only person who's had that problem before. It is a pretty common problem that we see on the fucking Reddit sometimes. Or at least after I did some digging, it seemed to be pretty common. Lawyer that shit with them as much as they're trying to lawyer it up with you. I don't think I would win a fucking lawyer battle over half a course unit being held back. But it's kind of fucked, because being held back means like, if I actually had to be on campus for that last course, then it would delay my visa application, which would delay my internship by probably another 4 months, which is not my internship, no, my full-time job, which is not something I want to do, because it would also mean I would need to delay Project JEISN and a lot of the plans for Project JEISN for another 4 months. Thank you, Umneo, for the follow. Just use AI to find every single exception and weird thing you can. I don't think that would work out. Don't trust their assessments of things one single bit. Make it painful for them. Just make it as painful as possible for them, as much as they made it painful for me. Like, my internship for the company that I'm returning to now, I was supposed to start in September, right? September of last year. But because of all the fuck-ass shit my university did, I ended up having to delay by 3 months that time, and I ended up starting my internship back in November. Which also made me push back my graduation by a whole term already as well. I was planning to graduate a term before, but no, here I am now. And yeah, it's just annoying, this fucking university, man. I've toyed with like the idea of dropping out of university like 2 years ago. And a lot of people tell me this, and I kind of agree with them. The university environment, for me at least, is just not a good place to learn information. You learn like some interesting stuff that you probably wouldn't normally expose yourself to, but at the same time, this is just not my learning style. Make JEISN your full-time job and stick it to them. Become a new improved Neurosama. Yeah, I want to fucking stick it to these guys, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like this channel or Project JEISN is becoming my full-time job anytime soon. I would love it to be, but cross my fingers, hope something comes out in the near future. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. And I'm kind of concerned as well, because like, I thought that maybe once I graduate from university, I'll have so much more time to work on Project JEISN, and I'll be so much more relaxed when in my off hours as well. But I'm not sure, because, well, as you know, I have to edit everything. I do a lot of promotional material myself, and fuck, it takes a long ass time to do anything around here. And once I actually start my job, I'll probably be working like 8 to 10 hours a day, which leaves me like, if I want to have an actual proper sleep schedule of 8 hours a day, that leaves me with like, what, 6 hours a day at most, not counting like, not counting cooking, not counting actually taking care of myself and all that stuff. So I don't actually have a lot of time to work on Project JEISN, which kind of sucks, you know? I wish this was my full-time job. I wish I could do this just like day in, day out. It would be so fun, but that's unfortunately not how the world works. Yeah, you can grow it, but most of the times the original always is but most of the times the original is always better, no matter what it is the best. I'm having a stroke reading. It's really hard to have a side project in a life while working full-time. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Like, I noticed this while I was working in Germany as well, right? There were a lot of times where I had to tell my friends or whatever, like, no, sorry, I'm too busy, I'm working on my side project and whatever. I would like barely spend as much time as I would like, especially after I towards the end of my internship, right? When J-ISM was really taking off and I was getting really bogged down with work. I had to cancel on one of my friends for like 2 months straight, and I feel so fucking bad. But thankfully he got a return offer, so I'll be seeing him again pretty soon. But yeah, it is really hard to juggle a full-time life, full-time work, especially with the company that I'm going to be working at, as well as something as big as Project J-ISM, being the full-time editor, the full-time programmer, and like pretty much a fucking streamer on the side, right? I don't even know how I'm even juggling all of this right now, but I hope that you guys can like be patient with me or continue being patient with me and hold out just a little bit longer while I sort some things out for Project J-ISM. I wanted there was some stuff that I wanted to get done by the end of August, but considering how busy, well, to be honest, I want to spend a little bit more time with my friends here before I actually move out to another country for probably the next year or so, right? And so I want to spend time with my friends and family, and so I'm going to be focusing a lot more of my time with them, which will also mean that combined with all of the moving and setting up stuff, I probably won't be streaming as much in the coming month, which will also mean that all the things that I did have planned for this month also gets pushed back a little bit. Maybe, considering the fact that I am going on vacation in September, probably, I might be doing it in October. So pushing it back by 2 months, it sounds really bad, but it is what it is, right? I have to take this kind of at my own pace. And especially with us, I don't know, still being relatively small, all things considered, I think I might as well take the time now to do that sort of things before I don't have that luxury in the future. There was something else that I did want to talk about, but I guess I already got to it. Right? Delaying some of this stuff, having to move, university fucking me over again. Yeah, it feels like this, I don't know. It feels like university, or at least life in general, has not given me a break for a very long time. It feels like every week there's something new, at least. I kind of do it to myself, though. But it is what it is. This is actually going to take fucking forever. We still have another 40 minutes on this one. Still have another 20 minutes on this one. Oh my god. Also, guys, at what point improv? I'm trying to improv right now. At what point would you consider a gacha player has gone too far off the deep end? At what point? Because I was talking to my friends about an idea I had, and they're like, bro, you have a problem. I swear, like, how much have you spent? I've spent, how much have I spent? I spent $60, okay? But like, that wasn't the reason it was prompted. I have like this problem where a lot of the things that I do, especially games, particularly games, whenever I get into a game, I become hyper fixated on the fucking game. Like, I'm the type of friend where if you start a Minecraft server, the fucking Ender Dragon will be dead before the end of the day. And then I'll be fucking making the most overkill fucking farms every fucking day on 24 hours, and they're like, bro, you have a problem. But I think this one kind of tops it. I was playing Uma Musume, right? I think I've talked about this before. I was playing Uma Musume. I've been playing Uma Musume for a little bit now, and there's this website that allows you to compare your horses together to kind of simulate which one is better, or at least, yeah, which one is better for a race and which one can have better clear times. And so I was thinking to myself, you know what? I am sick and tired of having to manually input each of my horses into this website, and this website can only compare 2 horses at a time. So I was proposing to them, what if I just build an application that you can use to take screenshots of your horse's stats, and then it puts all of those stats into a database to which you can then cross compare and form the most optimal teams out of your horses. They're like, bro, you've gone too far off the deep end. You need some help, bro. You need some help. It's a valid use case. It's a valid use case. And then that is the entire reason which prompted me to start trying to do this today. Okay, this is the entire reason I wanted to play around with Vision today. This isn't the kind of technique you would use for an image processing into a database, like I had proposed, but it's still something along the lines, right? Normally you would use, like, I don't know, take screenshots, or what's it called? I don't fucking remember what they're called. You would take like snapshots of regions of the screen and then save those into a database and like kind of map a certain skill to a certain image. That way, when you're actually processing an image, it would do some sort of like, it would do a search through the entire image to find kind of related areas that include that snapshot of the image. That way you can tell, okay, it has this skill, add this to the list of skills this horse has, and something like that, right? Same with the image or the stat processing. You wouldn't be using an LLM to kind of extract the actual stat numbers because that's just inefficient. You would maybe use a different, you would maybe isolate part of the screen. So fuck. You would isolate the numbers on the screen for something like speed, for something like width, and then you can use what do you call it? You would process each of the digits so you can actually see what number it is without having to use an LLM for something like that, right? You would use a classification model. You would use like a convolutional neural network or something to classify each of the digits between 0 to 9 or no digit. And so that way you would know how much of a stat you have for a particular stat. Something like that. That would just process the numbers into a database, and then you can use the same algorithm that they use for that website. Maybe I can pull it up. Because it's not like this website is running on a server or anything. It's not like whenever you make a request to like compare or whatever, it sends it off to a server. This is all being done with JavaScript that you download onto your system, and he even has like a Git project that actually has everything, right? I forget if he has it. The Uma tool simulation tools. Oh no, the thing is that it's in TypeScript, and it's a pretty big fucking simulator as well. So I'm not sure if I would just take this, run it as a server in the background, and run my simulations through that, or if I would, I don't know, convert it to Python or something like that. That was just an idea that I had. A fucking stupid ass idea. But is this considered going too far off the deep end? I don't think so. I think this is fully justified. This would take a lot of effort to fucking maintain though. I don't think he has all of the horses. I'm pretty sure he only has like all of the beginning horses, I think. I'm not sure actually. Let's see. Does he have? Nope, he does not. Okay, he only has all the horses from the start. Oh, but he does have the new Toketeo, so I don't know. I do not know what else to talk about. We have so much longer to go. What we can do with this kind of technique or image captioning, what we can do with this is we can probably do some like room react streams or whatever, but this wouldn't be useful for something like chess or other game playing AIs, right? It might be better for something like Minecraft where it's slower pace and the information on the screen isn't as critical as something like chess. But for instances where you need faster responses and like pinpoint accuracy for some, in order to play a game, we would need a more dedicated model for those purposes. For something like playing chess, we would need to process the image manually or with a different kind of process than just tokenizing it, right? We would need to extract the literal grid position of certain pieces and all of that, put them into a string, and that would be our quote-unquote tokens that represent the actual board, as opposed to just being image bytes, right? Same with something like OSU. An LLM would be too slow for something like OSU. Instead, you would have to use a convolutional neural network in order to guide mouse movements and stuff like that, which makes it kind of impossible for JAISN to describe the context as to what's going on during current gameplay. But maybe for like a certain miss or something, you can have a rule or something to kind of tell or give context to JAISN, oh, this is the reason why you missed or something like that, right? Because there are tools for categorizing those sorts of stuff, right? We have the OSU misanalyzer. I don't know if I want to show that on stream right now because it would show off my private servers, but we have the OSU misanalyzer, which you can use to go through replays and figure out where you had a miss and what you kind of misaimed or whatever, and it classifies it into a misaim or mistap. And then you can use that as context for JAISN so she could describe her play or whatever. But that's just a bit of a side tangent. I guess, is this still downloading? Yeah. I guess while this continues downloading, why don't we do a little bit of React for the content from, yeah, let's do a bit of Reacts. Let me pull up the spreadsheet. Do we have anything new? Oh yeah, there's the article on GPT OSS. I guess we might as well talk about GPT or OpenAI for a little bit because they are pretty fucking hot in the news right now. Bruh, not again. I thought we were done with this one. Nah, we haven't gotten to this one. I skipped over it for fine tuning for you last time. GPT-5 and GPT OSS, I heard a lot of shit about this. I haven't used it myself yet, but holy shit, this shit is popping off in the news right now. GPT OSS, it is lobotomized as hell. We've already discussed this. There are a ton of like security fine-tunings into it, and overall it is underperforming in the grand scheme of things, right? This is just a publicity stunt from OpenAI to be like, hey, we were actually open, you know? It's good, to be honest. I think like compared to all of the models we have out there right now, it may not be state of the art, but it is pretty good, right? I just think it is not as ready to use out of the box as it is compared to like Qwen 3, for example, right? But I believe it's easier to distribute like run on a distributed system, you are able to use attention sync on this, which I've heard. I don't know how true that is, but apparently this is like the only model that is capable at attention syncs. And overall, if you can fine tune it into something that's actually usable, or no, if you can fine tune this for your use case, I don't think it's that bad of a model overall, right? But it's definitely not leading the way in any kind of space whatsoever, I feel like. But GPT-5, holy shit. All those articles we've been reading over the past week, like where is it? All of the Psychophony stuff, the Numinix stuff. It's pretty interesting to see that we just read these, right? But these are hot topics for GPT-5. Like everything we read here, everything about the safety and all of that, they kind of apply to GPT-5, right? With it being less psychophantic, with it being a lot less psychophantic, which is like the main points in these articles, as well as like with all the security evaluations coming out recently or API-based models. It's kind of interesting to see how quickly we're shifting for like applying safety fine-tunings to all of these models and kind of seeing the results that came out of it. I myself haven't actually played with GPT-5 yet, but at the same time, it sounds like everybody hates it, right? I don't know how true that is, but I definitely know the people that had formed relationships with like GPT-4o and whatever, like the glazing behavior, people who have like fallen for it, they are raging online over this. You use abacus.ai, $10 a month for coding. I would assume for coding. But yeah, they've also dropped the ball on the rollout as well by rolling out GPT-5 and just cold turkeying, removing all of the previous GPT models, which they've never done this before. They just cold turkey removed all of the previous GPT models, and they still kept the same price for lower rate limits for the time being, at least. I heard that they're going to double the rate limits once they fully roll out. But right now, the rate limits are lower for like the pro users or whatever. And so it's like, bro, what are they doing? This is like the biggest drop off or the biggest fumble in the history of fumbles. I think the reason, or I'm pretty sure the reason why they removed all of the previous GPT models from their website for selection and whatever, is because of the security, quote unquote, evaluations, right? They're trying to comply with a lot of these new security concerns that are coming out. But at the same time, it's like, do they have a strict SLA for it? Isn't there SLA for complying with these security concerns like months from now or something? Because if so, why the fuck are they cold turkeying it as opposed to just like gradually rolling over when it makes sense? That's not based on the lessening improvements. Do you think they're realizing the hype train is dying? I think any AI developer who hasn't been delusioned into thinking who hasn't been delusioned by the hype and thinking that Moore's law will apply to AI as well, I think any AI dev could tell you that we're fast approaching the ceiling, right? We were already approaching the ceiling, or we already knew of the ceiling like years ago or something, right? There was like I forgot what it's called, but there's kind of like a limit to the rate of training that's possible. There's kind of like this boundary between training results and training accuracy versus model size and whatnot, as well as with all the lessening of high quality data that we can gather and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure we all knew that this wasn't going to continue to grow at the same rate as it did when it first took off. But I don't think it's really I don't think the hype train is really dying. I think we're just trying to find new ways to integrate or work with the current technology that we already have, right? Finding new ways to fine tune to get more interactive results, trying to improve and catch up the infrastructure that we've so far pretty much neglected and make it so we can really run AI on any device, really, right? Trying to improve compatibility across devices and all of that. I think in terms of API-based models, though, I think the hype isn't. I would say the hype has died, but it's not like people are gonna start using it any less. I think the hype is gonna die down, but that's just because people are gonna be more comfortable with it. We are definitely gonna see less improvements with AI going forward because of all of the new policies and all of the new security concerns that are finally catching up with this industry. But at the same time, I don't think that's really going to affect us much going further. In my opinion, we're hitting a saturation point. The rest of it will be based on results instead of hype. Yes, we are leaving the stage of hype and entering the stage of actual results, right? The actual improvements of these state-of-the-art API-based models, they're gonna start slowing down as policies and security shit, they catch up to it, right? But I think for open source, it's only going to improve for us. Open source is only going to improve. The availability of models on devices is going to improve. It's not going to improve at the rate of Moore's Law, but we can expect to continue seeing steady improvements until we kind of start reaching the current state-of-the-art API-based models, right, onto our local machines. But there's probably going to be a limit to it, obviously. We will need to figure out some way of, unifying the GPU calculations or matmuls or whatever the fuck across devices between AMD, between Macs, between NVIDIA and all of them. And we're going to need to start seeing more dedicated hardware for AI as opposed to just plain GPUs, right? I can expect to see the NPU market slowly continue to grow until it reaches a state where it is just as important as, say, a GPU or something. But that's just like my speculation. I'm probably very wrong on that. Check out Abacus AI when you get the chance. Let's see what this is. This is just like a product for unifying different LLM services, right? That's what I think this is. I'm just not very interested in using LLMs in general for my day-to-day work. I think you're right. We're heading into optimization of things instead of exploration phase. Yes, we're heading into optimizations and we're heading into, we're reaching the kind of stage that we are reaching when it comes to hardware and Moore's Law, where we're starting to slow down on the progress and more of the pioneers in the industry are starting to focus on sustainability and such. So we're kind of going towards the same phase with AI, where we're slowing down on progress, but we're starting to focus more and more on efficiency of models, which also in turn improve their ability to run on lower end machines, as well as just general optimization and unification of certain AI libraries and stuff. But Abacus AI, what the fuck is this? An AI super assistant for enterprises and professionals. This is just like an AI assistant, right? And you can select different backends, I'm assuming, whether it be OpenAI or Gemini or whatever. I don't know. Data connectors, vector stores, chain of thought prompting and prompt chains, AI agent workflows, real-time feature store, RAG orchestration, state-of-the-art LLMs and ML models, fine-tuning LLMs, novel neural network techniques, notebook hosting, and model monitoring and drift and explainable ML. All of these are pretty cool. But honestly, I don't have much of an interest when it comes to using AI for work or like actually talking to an AI agent. Use it for personal use, $10 a month. Yeah. I'm not like dissing the platform or anything or saying this is useless. This is definitely useful. It's just that I currently don't use it for any of my workflows. And subscribing to all the models individually, yeah, it's like, there's a lot of other websites that are like this, where they take other APIs or services and they consolidate them into one where you can select a different runtime. I believe OpenRouter is one as well, where you can connect it to different models and you can select which one you want to use. And then you can just like have a different chat time and all of that stuff, right? There are definitely already a lot of products out there that do this. I don't know. For me, I've never reached a use case yet where I actually need all of these things like, oh, chain of thought prompting, branching prompts. I don't need data connectors or all of that stuff, right? I already have a bunch of tools which I can already use for that sort of stuff pretty well. And normally I don't even use like AI inside of my own workflows because right now, at least I'm mostly in the stage of learning, right? Since I am like a pretty new developer, all things considered, I'm not like a seasoned developer. And so I'm focusing much more on actually trying to internalize and learn information as opposed to trying to be as efficient as possible, right? Maybe once I actually learn enough and feel like I know enough about computers and like at a very low level to be able to say like, okay, I am like a seasoned developer, I will probably start picking up and externalizing all of my information. I already am externalizing my information. Like I have Obsidian notebooks and I do have a AI chat hooked up to all of my notes that allows me to like have a session and talk with a AI like ChatGPT or whatever and use my notes as embedded context for the conversation. But at the same time, it's like I don't even use that much because I already know a lot of the information. I don't have enough knowledge yet to really justify me externalizing all that information. It's not like I'm forgetting all this information yet, but at some point I might be starting to forget. Fuck! What is this? Flash Attention 2 has been toggled on, but it cannot be used due to the following error. The package Flash Attention seems to not be installed. Please say we downloaded this shit and it didn't just fumble. Please, for the love of God, say we did not just fuck that up. Okay, we're gonna install everything. UV, pip install, bits and bytes. We already have accelerates. Bits and bytes. Optimum. We don't need optimum. We need Flash Attention 2. That was, where was it? I saw it just now. To install CD Hopper, blah blah blah. Pip install Flash Attention. I love dependencies. I love dependencies. Is that all it complained about? Well, we don't know if it's going to complain about anything else because it only throws one error of a dependency at a time. Like, man. We shouldn't have toggled flash attention to. Oh. Fine, fine. Hopefully this doesn't take that much longer, and hopefully we don't need to reinstall the model. If we have to reinstall the model, we're gonna find something else to do. Oh no, what has happened? Oh no. No! What am I missing? I am missing a build tool. Fuck, why did my entire computer have to crash that, or why did my entire computer have to implode that one time? What do I even need to install? Ignoring O3, C++, 17. Do I not have it? I thought I installed that. Hold on a second. Where's Noelle? She has this link to like an install for a bunch of the Microsoft tool stuff. Yo, do you still have the link to install a bunch of build tools for like C++? Hopefully she responds. That's so cooked, man. That's so cooked. Yours is old? I don't know if mine's is old. But I had to reinstall a bunch of shit, including the build system, because I had to reinstall my operating system and like get a new boot drive and whatever. Visual Student version, I mean, I did install Visual Studio. I'm pretty sure I installed some Visual Studio stuff. Visual Studio. Yeah, I did. But for some reason it includes 17. Let me try. Visual Studio. Here. What do we have? We have the CMake tools. We have the MSVC 2022. Get latest, I think it's 17. This is 17 though, no? We're using 14 in the command. Huh. Wait. I thought I installed, because I unchecked 14. Oh, this is 14. B14.3. If I uncheck you, will you install 17? .NET, Cloud, C++, 2020. Do I need to reinstall Visual Studio or something? To get the latest installs? I don't think so. These are all version 14. If I want to get 17, that's like... Oh, these are ARM though. I don't need ARM. C-line compiler. This is version 19. Maybe. 7 gigabytes. Oh. Okay, maybe there's something else. This one. C++ CLI support for V13 build tools. 1.5 gigs. Or let's get the latest one. 1714. Or latest. Latest. Here we go. 1.52. Check those 3 options in the bottom right. What do you mean? V, C++ ATL, MCF, and the latest. 2.7. Experimental, and I don't think we need the C-Lang tools. Should be good now. 2.76 gigabytes. How long do you think this is gonna take? 30 minutes? Probably 30 minutes. We're gonna need to find something else to do. Okay, wait. This is like a preliminary install, right? It's gonna take half an hour, right? Oh gosh, please. Oh gosh, please. Updated Visual Studio installer. Waiting to download. This might be cooked. Fuck. Come on. Come on. Fuck. Okay, wait. First one is only 636 megabytes. That's gonna take 100 seconds. This isn't too bad. Oh, I got a message back from Noelle. Oh, she just uses Winget. Thank you. And she uses Winget to download the tools directly as opposed to using this. But it seems like... Oh, she just installs all the tools. So I don't know which specific one. What else? Can I like modify or check what else there is? Hello, Noelle. You just came home? Yeah, apparently my... When I had to reinstall all the Visual Studio stuff, I installed version 14, but this needs 17 or to actually be built for some reason. What are you needing these for? Installing... What's it called? What's it called? It was something for Flash Attention 2. Because I decided to try and run it with Flash Attention 2, and I'm too stubborn to try and reinstall the model without Flash Attention 2. If you want this scriptable, consider changing it to MingW. It's just I'm just trying to install a dependency, is all right now. This is just fine. I'm mostly just testing stuff right now anyways. Okay, that didn't take too long. And that didn't take long at all to finish. Hold on. Please tell me you work. We need to restart VS Code though. I'm pretty sure. Now, I think Visual Studio shows different numbers. In folder is 14.4, its versions is 17, and the C++ support is just depends on the compiler of that version installed. It's dumb, yeah. Conda activate testing vision. Oh fuck. Testing vision. Go back to the test repository. And Python main. Please tell me we don't have to reinstall the model. Oh wait, we need to... Fuck. We need to reinstall... Oh shit. Which one is it? Don't need the calories for fucking ramen. Don't care about that. Okay, here we go. Go. Could not install due to OSS error. Temp pip install. Did we do it with UV? I forget. What is this though? It's supposed to be a temp. Hold on. Attempted to use Ninja as a build extension backend, but could not find Ninja. Oh, we need to install Ninja. I forget where we installed that from. Windows, Ninja. Ninja comes with Visual Studio as well. I think you're gonna lose your mind trying to do this on Windows. Yeah. You know what? I think... Who needs Flash attention anyways, you know? We don't need that. We don't need that. Fake anyways. It's fine. We don't need the extra memory saving, to be honest. This is just for testing. We don't need to fucking convolute shit right now. Loading checkpoint shards. I think the download did save properly though. Thank God for that. Because I did not want to wait another 40 minutes for this to download. It's taking a long time to load though, which is kind of concerning. Okay, it's just taking a very long time to load. How big is this model? Wait, do I even have enough? Oh shoot. OBS, oh please, tell me you're fine. Is stream lagging? Stream seems to be dipping in FPS a little bit. Why not run it in Cobalt? Because I wanna learn. And I also want to like, yeah, I want to learn to use this, and my system's gonna be like, I'm not gonna be using Cobalt going forward. I'm just gonna straight up use Llama CPP, whatever. And I need to integrate this with the rest of my pipeline. I'm not gonna be using Cobalt because Cobalt you have to upload your images and whatever, right? But I need more support other than just images. I need to be able to do video, video descriptions, as well as using the vision for other stuff as well, not just as context, right? This is just like my preliminary playing around with vision models, specifically for the purpose of context in this case. I have a feeling this is gonna really lag the stream though, so brace yourselves. Image processor of type is now loaded. It's a fast processor by default, even if the model has been saved as initially slow processor. Okay, we've loaded vocab.json, merges.txt, tokenizer.json. You have video processor config. saved in processor.json, which is deprecated. Video processor config should be saved in your own. Okay, well, this is just a Quen thing, right? Oh gosh. Hold on, what is my computer doing? It is bogging down. Okay, we are moving, right? No, we're not moving at all. Oh my god, we are capping out on GPU memory. I think there's no way this model's too big for my system. There's no way. But it is running really freaking slow. Lol is having a brain hemorrhage. It is having more than just a hemorrhage. Its body, its limbs are exploding right now. My memory is sitting at 80%. My GPU memory is sitting at 100%. My 3D processing is sitting at 100%. Yeah, I think this model is a little bit too much for my CPU or for my computer. This is fucked. Can't wait for your new PC. Are you running with bits and bytes as well? I don't think so. I don't think we're running with bits and bytes. I just copied their fucking code exactly from their Hugging Face, and I'm just running with it. Ooh. My computer's chugging. Oh, please let this process finish. 7 billion in float 16 is not gonna fit. Yeah, I can tell now. Stop, please stop. Oh, fuck. Crash. Please exit task, please. Oh my god. Why are you like this, Haku? Okay. You've killed the process. Holy fuck. You're loading it straight up raw dog style? I am loading it straight up raw dog style. Oh, can I give you a tip for the future? What is it? Is the tip to calculate how much VRAM I'm expected to use and then actually fucking make sure it fits on my system? I'll take that into consideration. Windows system for developers and task. The thing is, I don't know if that messes up with cleaning up the partitions inside of the VRAM or whatever. Not partitions, the allocated memory inside of the VRAM. Because it's happened before where a model stays loaded even though I kill a process through Task Manager. It does? Okay. Oh, a torch D-type. Is it possible for me to just like reduce this? No, I don't think that would work. I've never actually loaded a model with bits and bytes myself before. CUDA has profoundly failed if killing the process holding it hostage doesn't release VRAM. I guess so. How can I load a model using bits and bytes? Load model using bits and bytes. But the thing is, I don't think this has a bits and bytes variant of the model. Right, we don't have a 4-bit version of this model, do we? Load in 8-bit. It's quantization on the fly. That's what BNB does. Oh, really? I thought BNB was like a like quantization technique. Okay. That's cool then. Do I need to change this torch D type at all? It is loading it much faster though. I will say that. Okay, please. Do not die on me this time. It is cranking on max again, but I don't... My system is running a little bit smoother, so maybe that's fine. It hasn't reached the same stage as before just yet. Oh, it is starting to chug now. Ah, shit. Hold on, hold on. Let it cook. Let it cook. It might pull through. We just needed to pull through once. But you are right. We might need to do more. But let it cook. Inputs will be cast from 2 floating point 16 during quantization. Okay, let it get past this stage because it's probably trying to quantize the model at the moment. Oh, jeez. Once it gets to the same stage as before, then we'll see if it's still cooked or not. Quantization takes 2 to 3 minutes on my box. Does it cache the quantization though? Does it cache the quantized model though? Will I need to quantize it again if I run this script? It doesn't cache. Oh fuck. Maybe we should have just quantized it beforehand. Oh well. Can cook some ramen on Limit's GPU at the moment. Yeah, it is getting fucking hot. It is. How hot is it getting? How hot does this say at least? 52? 52 is not that hot, but it feels way hotter on my fucking case right now. This is why homies use Llama CPP / Cobalt CPP with the pre-quantized proj. I just wanted to test something simple. Video support is literally just multi-image with a FPS and a prompt. I do know, but like, I wanted to use this as a, I don't know, a first step in learning how to process an image into some other kind of information, right? I do know I could have gone the easy route and just done Cobalt, use Cobalt's already built-in one, just download the model and use it with that, right? But I wanted to do something like, I don't know, something that I can just like maintain myself, more or less. I don't know if I'm going to be using Quen in the future for this purpose, but I don't know. I literally went into this knowing nothing about what I'm going to be doing today. Moondream 2? I saw Moondream on Hugging Face. It was right here, actually. It was right here. I just pulled the Quinn one just cause fuck it, why not, right? I didn't think it would be... How big is Moondream actually? You're friends with Vic? Oh, the creator? It's cool. How big is this though? 1.93 billion parameters. This would have actually fit. This would have been a lot better than whatever the fuck we're using right now. We can still switch. We can still switch. The dependencies are the same, right? We need to install pill though. Yeah, we are not doing this. Fuck this. Kill it. Kill the process. It is way easier to run. It is way smaller as well, which is why it's easier to run. Where's Python? Get out of here. Yeah, I can't find Python. Is it my Visual Studio Code? It normally isn't my Visual Studio Code. But I don't see another Python process here. Oh, it's already killed. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so we're gonna use Moondream. Fuck it. You can quantize and get it so small. Alright. I'm just gonna use Moondream for now because it's so much... It'll be so much faster than trying to get Quen to fit on my system right now. I don't need to install pill, right? Does pill come with it? Pip show pill. No packages found for pill. UV pip install pill. Fuck. What's the actual name of it? Pill install. Oh, pillow? Pillow. Pip show pillow. Yes, we have it. Okay. We'll use you. We'll just fucking copy paste the code and see if it even works. See what other problems we get from there. Image, what is this image supposed to be? Caption, image is equal to something from image. I forget how to use pillow though. Pillow image Python. Image open this. Okay, let's get a test image. Let us get let's just screenshot this. We'll screenshot you. We'll save you to... Hold on. Okay, good. We'll save you to testing vision tool inputs.png. Okay, we should now have input.png, which is just the home screen to pillow. So we'll import you. As image, and we'll run all of you. Now this should be not JPEG, but inputs.png. And now we should be able to run this. So let's see what description we get. Wait, caption, what is this saying? What is this actually doing? We load the model, pre-trained. We need to set load in, we'll do 4 bits just to actually get this to work with the best chance possible. Revision, true remote code, device, map, CUDA, we'll use CUDA. Print short caption.
Promise to send help if I am gone. Wi-Fi village is not strong and right now not very stable.
Wi-Fi in your village. I'll be back in a bit. I forgot my pills in my mom's car, or my mom's truck. All right, no worries. Normal caption. So we can either give it a short caption, a normal caption, or a, what is this, a visual query? How many people are in this image? Okay, so we can give it a prompt as well. Oh, so if we give it a prompt, there's this option for answer. If we give it a length, then it would be through caption. And oh, we're able to stream this as well. Yeah, we're able to stream generation. We don't really need the ability to stream, but it is cool that it has it. Face detection, all of this information. We don't need this right now. We'll try visual querying in a little bit, but I want to see the short caption first, and we'll try everything else later. So Python main. Let's go. Come on. All right, we need to download another 3.8, 3.9 gigabytes worth of fucking weights. Okay, well, at least this one won't take as long. 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Let JISON make the prompts to ask it like who's in this picture. That's kind of what I plan to do. I wanted to make it so JISON would be capable of making the prompts for querying stuff like the internet or searching through an image. That way it kind of gets her personality into play,
You use
right?
Quen because I told you good. No answer means yes to me lol lol.
Okay. But yeah, I wanted to use JISON's personality model to generate prompts to query some of these tools, right? Tools to either describe an image or search the internet. That way, some of her personality is in play as well. But I'm still going to have a separate model which actually decides what tools it wants to call in the first place, right? It might not be an LLM. It might just be a simple classification model, for example. But yeah, that is something that I want to play around with for the JISON that I'm going to be making for, well, JISON specifically and not Project JISON. Because I feel like to make it, I don't know, one of the problems that I'm facing with Project JISON and trying to generalize it for everybody's use case is like deciding how we interact with the personality model and where we incorporate it or like certain stages, right? I feel like I'm thinking too much of like trying to make it as flexible as possible, when in reality I should just be deciding on one protocol or procedure and just sticking with it, whether or not if it's like other people agree if it's good or not. Because I need to remember at the end of the day, Project JISON is probably mostly going to be used by people who don't know how to code or something. And so I feel like anybody who actually does know how to code already knows how to make their own AI VTuber. They wouldn't be using Project JISON directly. And even if they do, and if they have complaints, they can just fix it themselves. Let's be honest. Oh, it even says, for the installation of Flash Retention, make sure that Ninja is installed and that it works correctly. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure I don't have Ninja. I did have it in the past, but again, I had to reinstall everything on my computer, right? And I'm pretty sure that was on WSL as well. I don't think I ever installed Ninja for Windows.
God damn!
One of the requirements is Linux, but it might work for Windows. But I'm pretty sure you would need to compile it yourself for Windows. Yes. Windows compilation still requires more testing. Starting version 2.3.2, we've seen a few positive reports. If you have a few ideas how to set up pre-build CUDA wheels for Windows, please reach out via GitHub issue. Nothing here. I don't know. Yeah, getting ninjas to work with Windows is probably a pain in the ass. I guess for now, no flash attention. That's fine. We don't need flash attention anyways. Oh, it's doing this again. No. Okay, we're about 2 gigabytes in now, which means we have about 2 gigabytes left to go. Okay, at least this isn't gonna take 40 minutes like the Quen model. What other models do we have out there? I've seen Moondream quite a bit for other models as well, not just for the purpose of text and image to text. What else does Vic have? Moondream 2, a tiny vision language model. Moondream 1, generate text based on input prompts. Okay, this is probably what I was seeing before. The text-to-text model. Moondream 2, Moondream Next, Moondream 0. Contemplative Moondream. Oh shoot. Oh, these are spaces. I could try it inside of this space. We could have done this from the start, just to give it a try. Datasets, models. Yes, 6 models. Moondream 1's here. A 1.6 billion parameter model built by Vic using SIGLIP, Phi, and Lava training datasets. The model is released for research purposes only. Commercial use is not allowed. What about Moondream 2? What's he say about Moondream 2? Okay, no words about commercial usage. No license either. Okay. Okay. Where the fuck did it Moondream 1 go? Here we go. No, this is Moondream 2. Fuck. Oh, this is Moondream 1. It just looks different. Wait, I thought this was... But this is taking an image. Huh? I thought this was a text-to-text model. So I guess Moondream 2 is built on top of Moondream 1. But the thing is, like, for Moondream 1 he says no commercial use is allowed. I don't know. I don't know if what I'm doing falls into commercial use. I'm pretty sure it does. Right? I don't know. We have 3 fine-tunes and 3 quantizations. Let's see these fine-tunes. Training the Moon, Moondream Caption, Moondream 2 billion medium VQA fine-tuned. We just need to wait for this to finish downloading. Half a gig more. How do we know what functions this model has? I've never seen this .caption or .query before. Handler? Endpoint handler? No. Reprocess image. hfmoondream.py. I just want to find where it says query. Okay, query. This is a property. Encode image, query, caption, set of cache, and then return the model caption. Self setup caches. Oh wait, no, that's a property, right? Not a function. Generate inputs. We can point, we can gaze, detect. Interesting. I think it only counts if you start selling JAISIN. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a gray area. Because whenever I hear commercial, I think of like, oh, you're making money from it, right? But currently, the only way I'm technically making money off of JAISIN is through streaming, right? Whether or if I'm actually making money through streaming is debatable. but you get the point, right? I'm still profiting in some way or another off of JAISIN, off of this work. Alright, we finished downloading. Okay. This seems to be fine. Go to 4-bit. Expected scalar type float, but found half. Load in 4-bit, load in 8-bit arguments are deprecated and will be removed in future. Please pass a bits and bytes config object and quantization config argument instead. Okay, that's whatever. Just a disclaimer in your stream that is for learning purposes only. Yeah, but what about the streams where JAISIN runs on her own, right? And she ends up using Moondream 2 in the background for her, I don't know, image captioning or something like that. Then it's not like I'm not doing anything educational, it's more for entertainment. But the thing is, it's still using Moondream in the back, right? That shit just gets like fucking convoluted really quickly. Welcome back, Noel. We finished downloading Moondream. I'm trying to load it with bits and bytes. I don't think this error is related to bits and bytes, but I'm trying to load it. Expected scalar type floats, but found half. What's the data type parameter called again? I don't think that's a problem either, but fuck, what is it called? What's the D-type property called? D-type. Like when you set up the model, what is it called? Transformers. Essential Googling the error message. And that will make most bad words go away. Fine, fine. I have a feeling though it's probably because I'm not setting the D type for the model. Like how do I load it with the specific D type? Transformers load with D type. Torch D type, that's what it's called. Torch D type. Let's say equal to this to torch dot E float 16. I don't fucking know what value it's supposed to be. Probably is B&B to be honest. Yeah, it's probably because I'm not actually setting the D type properly when I first load it. I don't know, it's loading point 16. Let's just give it a try though. I can probably check through the config. B floating point 16, okay. Well, if it's already stated there, then it should be fine. What is this saying? Self and mat2 have the same D type, but got B float 16 and bytes. Apparently it's supposed to download already quantized version for Transformers. What? Okay, fuck it. We're just gonna get rid of you. We're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna run you raw. I just abused being GPU rich and run it at full size, so I never tried. Yeah, we're gonna run it at full size. Let's see. Short caption. Okay. We got it output. I actually wanna time this though, so let's import time. And let's do time dot caption is equal to this, and we'll print caption. So time dot get performance clock, right? Performance counter. Okay. So start time is equal to this, and end time is equal to this. We'll print out completed. Completed in this amount of time. No, we're not using time.now. Performance counter has higher precision and higher priority than time.now, because time.now is like yeah. We both got it, yeah. This is gonna be in fucking, what is this? Milliseconds or something? Sure, why not? Whatever. That's fine. So I just want to see how fast it generates this short prompt. So if I run this again, this is going to generate a description of this page, right? A very short description of the pillow main page. Oh, this is in seconds, it seems. So about 1.5758 seconds. And so this says the pillow module of Pi image developed by Chameleon Operations. Let's see if we can actually see all of this information in the image or if it's just coming from the model itself. So we have the module pillow in Pi image. Where is this coming from? I guess this probably has its own internal knowledge. Developed by Chameleon Operations. Thing is, that isn't even stated here. So a lot of the information that it is spewing in this shorter caption is coming from its own knowledge of whatever's in the image, which I guess is fine. But I would prefer if it focuses more on what's in the image as opposed to not, but maybe the longer descriptions are better. Provides a class and factory functions for creating and rotating image modules. So that is stated here. Okay, let's it can read short, large text. Yes. Let's pick a different image then for testing purposes, because I don't want it to like read or summarize something that it already knows. Let's pull an image of, I don't fucking know. There was that example image we have from earlier. Hold on, let me just move it in from my downloads folder. A screenshot of your own video? I feel like this is just easier, because we already have an example image from the Quen one. Okay, transition back. Let us pull out demo dot, what is this, PNG, JPEG, right? This is the image that we have. It's a, I don't know my dog breeds. That's not a golden retriever, now that I look at it. Is it a golden retriever? No, its hair is too short. No. We'll have it describe this image. So that way it isn't like using pre-stored knowledge to kind of describe something like pillow, for example, right? That took about 1.6 seconds, and we got a woman in a plaid shirt, okay, on a sandy beach, accompanied by a golden retriever in a red harness. Is that actually a golden retriever? While the dog touches touches her hand and the sun sets. Okay, so pretty good description. My Moondream prompt goes like this. Give a general description of the image, don't write formally, put attention to text, brands, and known public figures. Yeah, well, we're just trying some things for now. We're seeing how good the descriptions are out of the box. So that is fine. What if we change this to a normal length? I don't know what other lengths are. Maybe there's like long. I don't know where we would see that though. Let's see what we get out of this. Let me actually just copy this. So from short, we got from normal, we got, okay, a significantly longer one that took 3.8 seconds. I'm pretty sure we're using CUDA, right? We are using CUDA. Or at least I hope we are using CUDA. A woman and a dog are captured in the moment of companionship on a sandy beach at sunset. It is being very wordy. Okay, sure. The woman, dressed in a plaid shirt and dark-colored pants, is sitting with her legs slightly bent. Her light golden retriever, wearing a vibrant harness, extends its left paw towards her, reaching out to the woman to touch the woman's hand. Sunlight casts a warm, golden glow on the scene, highlighting the colors of the dog, the woman's clothing, and the background. The ocean is visible with relatively small waves. The overall atmosphere of the image is serene and peaceful. So, okay. Yes. This, when I say wordy, I just mean that the word count is higher and is being a lot more descriptive. Normally, when we're trying to be like very concise, we would want to get rid of a lot of these descriptive words. But since we're trying to describe an image as best as possible, this is actually better, right? Maybe for a very simple, I guess if you're trying to optimize for latency and you don't really care about the nitty-gritty details of a scene, it's good to be able to have this short description for something like, oh, you're trying to just navigate through a Minecraft world, for example. But this is much better for something like doing, I don't know, React content or something like that, right? If you're trying to make your AI react to things within the scene, then this is a lot more better for actually giving the information that the AI needs to actually make kind of funny responses off of or something like that. In the middle of the LLM chat, dumping this as an image tags in the middle of the chat is really good as an image tag. I can't type. Yeah, basically, how I plan to use something like this is basically just another form of custom context which I can toggle on and off for something like JAISN, right? Depending on what I'm doing for the stream, I can configure it to make use of longer or shorter prompts or just any sort of prompt. And it will insert it into the same script that is used for everything else, from the actual dialogue as well as like summarizations of Twitch chat under its own context flags and stuff like that. So we already have custom context flags, so to speak. But so this would just be another one under its own image tag. But how we handle image might look very different from how we handle context for something like Twitch chat, right? For Twitch chat, we just have it periodically do it. But for something like vision, we might do something like a blend between periodic as well as immediately before response, right? That way it does get descriptions of the scene over time, even when it's not responding, but also in the immediate moment when it is about to respond. But I don't know, that is just like details that I haven't really thought of much yet. Yep, and you say people can send images or links might contain images in their embeds, and those get described if they're missing alternate text. Yes. Yeah, but the thing is like, it's kind of different from that use case where I need this to happen on its own and not be something that's prompted by a user, right? For something like React content, it's easier because that I have a guaranteed signal to know when I should be describing or using the vision context to describe an image. But if I have this on if I have this on constantly, then I need this to be able to determine on its own when it should be trying to use the vision model to describe a scene or not. So that's good, but there's other features as well that we saw inside of, I guess, some of the source code here, right? The properties here also have query image, which we should probably give a try, right? The description here is like so. Let's just store this. Is there a longer description that we can go for? What's the longest description that we can have? Layers, image crops, handlers, moondream.py. If I type in normal, okay, we do have long. Let's try long. I also want to mark down the times for this. So this was about 1.6 seconds. This was approximately 3.75 seconds. This is very arbitrary, but I just want to compare to how long of an output it provides. And for this one, let's see the long outputs. taking much, much longer actually. It's probably gonna be a very big block of text. So we got here, oh, we got 2 paragraphs. Okay, so the image shows a, is this actually, okay. The image shows a serene moment on a sandy beach at sunset or sunrise. In the foreground, a woman with long dark hair wearing a plaid shirt. Let's pull this up on the side. Actually, we can just pull it up straight up. A woman with long dark hair wearing a plaid shirt and with dark pants is sitting comfortably on the sand with her legs crossed. Her legs are they crossed? Oh yeah, they are crossed. She is smiling gently and engaging joyfully with a large, fluffy, this is not really fluffy, let's be honest. Is it fluffy? It's kind of fluffy. Light colored dog. It didn't say it's a golden retriever, but sure. The dog is wearing a colorful patterned harness and appears to be sitting calmly beside the woman, reaching out with her palm to touch her hand gently. The dog's posture and expression indicates contentment and affection. The background of the image reveals a tranquil ocean and a gentle waves rolling in, creating a serene and peaceful atmosphere. The sky above is softly illuminated by a warm, I wouldn't say it's softly illuminated, by a warm glow light of the sun setting, enhancing the overall mood and warmth of the scene. The colors in the image are soft and warm, with blues, grays, and soft yellows dominating the scene. The soft sand beneath their feet is smooth and undisturbed, contributing to the calm and relaxing ambience in the beach. This description, I'm not going to lie, I prefer the normal length one. I'm gonna run it one more time just to see if it does come up with something different, but I prefer the normal one because this just sounds like a more accurate description of the scene. And it is more concrete in saying like, oh, the dog is like a golden retriever and stuff like that, right? Whereas this one, it starts to feel like it's not too accurate, or it's not as good of a description of the scene. It starts to kind of, I don't know, misrepresent the scene a little bit. This one is getting word salady. Yeah, I agree. It is kind of getting word salady. It doesn't really describe the scene any better than it did for the normal one, but let's see. It's exactly the same thing. And that's probably because it has no variance inside of the inputs. So it will look exactly the same. I wonder how hard it would be to build something, probably with OpenCV, that can detect when enough pixels on the screen have changed to warrant a new description. OpenCV is something that I do want to play around with. Not this stream, but definitely in a upcoming stream, because we do want to do a lot of like actual image processing stuff, right? Not just trying to describe a scene simply like this. And we also need to automate the task of taking screenshots of the screen and whatnot. What else can we do? I think this one's best. Let's just say best. Okay, what else do we have here though? We have the ability to, well, first of all, stream outputs, which is cool, but we don't actually need this. So I'm just gonna get rid of you. We can do visual querying, so we can prompt it. Let's try it out. Query. Can we adjust the length of the query as well? I'm assuming we can, right? Let's just check. This is for caption. No, we cannot. Okay. For caption, we have the ability to add length. For query, we can only add an image, the question. What is reasoning? Oh, reasoning is probably just like some sort of, is actually reasoning. We'll try it out with and without reasoning. Settings, text sampling settings, and... Oh, text sampling settings. This is probably where we can add some sort of like temperature or something. Well, we don't care about that for now. What we do care about is trying out the questions and trying out reasoning. So there is no length. We'll do question. Question is equal to what breed is the dog? Or no, not what breed is the dog. Give a description of the dog. So I only want a description of the dog. I don't want a description of the rest of the scene or the girl or anything. And this will give back an answer. And we're gonna just keep it reasoning off for now. Right? Yes, reasoning off. So let's give this a try. This will be for query. We don't need to track this information anymore. That's fine. So we got a query. The dog in the image is a large, light-colored Labrador Retriever. Labrador Retriever? Is this even a dog breed? Hold on. Labrador. Oh, Labrador Retriever. Oh yeah, this is more accurate. This is more accurate versus a Golden Retriever. Golden Retriever is a lot fluffier, right? So this is actually more accurate. Labrador Retriever. It appears to be sitting on the sand next to a woman, engaging in playful interaction. The dog is wearing a harness, indicating that it might be trained or well-behaved dog. The scene takes place on a beach with a woman and the dog enjoying their time together. Well, it's giving a little bit more descriptions, but beyond the dog. But for the most part, this description is focused on the dog, which is good. So that is pretty good. Let's try it with reasoning. And what else comes with that? What else is returned to us? Return the reasoning dictionary as well as the answer. So this reasoning dictionary, we have reasoning. Let's output reasoning then. Results. Pass in the caption with the answer, or the result with the answer. And we'll also pass out the reasoning dictionary. All right, let's see. Okay. So, the reasoning, or with reasoning, we got a large, light-colored Labrador Retriever sits on the sand next to a woman, engaging in playful interaction. The dog is wearing a harness. So this is much more concise in comparison to before. What we got for the reasoning text is the dog in the image is a large, light-colored Labrador Retriever. It appears to be sitting on the sand next to a woman engaging in playful interaction. Is wearing a harness, indicating that it might be well-trained or participating in a training session. And grounding, nothing. How could we use grounding? Okay, so it still took 2.5 seconds, even though it is the final resulting answer is much more concise. And that's because it's doing this thinking like a thinking model would before it actually generates this response. So whether we need it or not is debatable, because it's not like we're using this as an actual... It's not like we're using this for actual like responses or anything. We're just using this for context. But this could be useful for trying to make more accurate descriptions of more complex images, for example, right? Again, this just has the same benefits of thinking models, but whether we actually need this or not is kind of situation dependent, right? I think for the most part, without reasoning is good enough. But what is this part about grounding? How can we actually make use of this grounding? Reasoning grounding. Reasoning grounding. reasoning grounding is also coming from this generation, right? It's not coming from anywhere else. Interesting. How the fuck does it make use of grounding, and why is it different from the actual reasoning text? I am not too sure what the purpose of this reasoning grounding is, or how it even gets generated. But that's whatever. That's fine. We can also... It seems like it also has the ability to point and detect objects. So what does this do exactly? Detect. Detect. And what are we looking for? Face objects. We're trying to find... just objects into scene. It's trying to describe objects into scene. So let's say I want to detect a dog. Okay, let's just detect a dog. Right, detect. Now we just take an image and we take an object, and that's all we get. The object can be any arbitrary string. So let's run you and get out. What are we getting? Objects. So this should probably describe where the dog is in the image. Ooh, that's interesting. This was completed a lot faster, and this kind of draws a box around the dog in the image. So around 0.2 of the x, around 0.2 on the x, let's say this is like 1/5, right? And then 0.4, around halfway down, drawn to about halfway, and then towards the bottom. Yeah, this is drawing a box around the dog, right? I'm not sure, I don't know how to draw a box over this image right now, but basically this is like the top left corner, and this is bottom right corner. And this isn't using the LLM to draw squares around them, which is interesting, because I thought it would use the LLM to kind of describe where in the position it is, but it isn't. That's interesting. I wonder how they implemented that. I mean, I would assume it's normal object detection, but the fact that it can take in any arbitrary string into it is pretty cool, actually. And I would assume it's a completely different model if that's the case. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. That's cool. Wait. Let's check the source code for it. We encode the image. We load the encoded image. We take the prompt tokens. What is this? Detect prefix. Encode that, and then we apply it through the in token. We're still using the LLM to do this. Really? Lore is equal to variant, state, settings variant. This is the same thing as all the other ones, right? No. Oh, wait, that's smart. Wait, why have I never thought of that before? Instead of hot swapping the entire model, we're instead swapping out LoRa's, because LoRa's are much smaller in comparison to the entire model, and so it's much faster to actually swap it out and make use of the same model, base model, but for different use cases. So in this case, the base model here is used for captioning or generating kind of descriptions based off of this format prompt. But they have an additional LoRa that comes with this package that generates, I suppose, JSON Objects, objects, objects. Objects equals self-generate points, max, Laura, Laura. Yes, so it generates like a JSON, and then it takes that information and gives it out as an output. But the thing is, it's still using the same base model, it just has its own LoRa adapter that is specifically trained to output the correct JSON. Wait, that's actually really cool. What? And this is why we don't just say fuck it and go with Cobalt, because I would have never seen this strategy. Oh, that's really cool. Wait, that opens a lot of ideas now for how I can build out JAI Sin for the future. Okay. Okay, I like that. What else do we have though? This detect prefix, self-config tokenizer, detect prefix, and then detect suffix. Okay, so this is just like constructing the prompt and detailing it with this specific detect property. And so all the other ones, they have their own tokens as well, which specify what kind of task it is. So this one we have query suffix, we have captioning suffix, I would assume as well. Where's caption? Caption. For captioning, we have our, or I suppose this is just base, right? Yes, this is base. The base task is to caption. We can add on a different suffix or something like querying, or we can swap out the LoRa as well as change parts of the prompt to indicate that it's a pointing or a detecting task. So for detecting, it's going to draw boxes. If I change this to living organism, this should give us 2 boxes, right? One around the girl and one around the dog. Let's run this main. Output, nothing. Organism, alive. You just need to give it some sort of word so it understands what we're looking for. It's only giving 1. Again, this one is for 0.4, 0.38 to 0.7. This is for the girl, not the dog. It doesn't think the dog is alive. What can we say that would encapsulate... What if we give it multiple? What if we say human or dog? Will it encapsulate both of them? Because I would assume that they're using the LLM to process the semantics of our inputs here. So that way it can search the image and pull out that information. But again here, 0.2, 0.4, so this is the dog. And this is still the dog. It's not taking into account the human here. Right? Maybe it can only capture one thing. Maybe it's only fine-tuned to capture one thing in the image, right? Or give one response inside of the array. Let's try and find another image that has repeated stuff inside of it. Now we can try this on. So maybe, what can we say? Birds on a branch. Download, save image as test.jpg. Okay, do test.jpg and we'll say bird. Right? this image that we have, very obviously that we have 3 birds on a branch, right? So it's not like human and dog or whatever, but hopefully it should give us an array with 3 objects or 3 boxes around them. What the fuck? No test.jpg? Oh, test.jpg, here we go. Yay, first in GIFs? You did go ham on GIFs earlier. Okay, we got multiple bounding boxes. We got roughly 0.2 and 0.5, or 4, 5, yes, to 0.3, 0.7. This one, 0.4 to 0.4 to 0.5 and 0.7 again. And then this one's about 0.5 to 0.6. Okay. So this has successfully drawn a bounding box around all 3 of these birds. For something like this image, it's going to be a little bit more hard to get a word that can encapsulate 2 unique identities, right? It's not like... I feel like these 2 would kind of be similar to each other inside the semantic space, especially if you were to give it the word alive. But I guess not really, right? I'm not sure. I don't think they would be close enough then, if that's the case. Because I'm pretty sure it will only detect concrete descriptions, like dog, like human, like bird, right? But it won't do something more abstract like alive, organism, mammal, I guess, right? It needs to be very exact, which I guess has its use cases. We also have point. Points should be the same thing as this, but probably just pointing towards like the average, right? We'll probably just point to the center of them. So if I say point, and I say points, points, point, bird, right? It's the same thing. Same thing as the detect. But this time, it will only give us a single data point, and that single data point should be the center of each of these objects, right? 0.3, roughly 0.5. When we compare it to here, it is smack in the middle. In fact, it is so in the middle that I'm willing to say that they just took the abstract code and just averaged out the points, right? Let's actually take a look at the point code here. We are using, oh, actually no, they're using point. They have their own prefix for point, which kind of seems redundant because I feel like they just could have used detect, reduced it down to a detect problem, but okay, sure. Include size, false. Include size, true. Sure. Cool. We also have this point for gaze, right? Gaze. And so what gaze, I have no clue what gaze would do. Detect gaze. Eye, face. What does this do? Image, eye, face. It's optional. Oh, you know what it is? I think this is trying to detect whether or not somebody is looking at you, right? Okay, let's give this a try. Let's give gaze a try. Or detect gaze. Detect gaze with no input. And let's see if it can see that this bird is staring towards us, or maybe this bird is staring at us. This is pretty cool though. I don't think a lot of the other image models are capable of doing a lot of this, like detecting gazes or pointing or whatever. I must be provided with prioritize accuracy equals false. Huh? If force detect is in unstable set, oh, we need unstable settings. Force detect. Let's just say true. And for prioritize accuracy, we'll leave that as false. If not prioritize accuracy, I is not in. Oh, I guess we should. Prioritize accuracy. We'll set this to be true. So, let us see. Let us see. What do you do? You are forced to detect something, and we're going to prioritize accuracy for detection as opposed to the specific eye. Okay. Base must be provided when prioritizing accuracy is equal to true. Fine. Fine. You know what? We'll do force detect. But we'll... Dictionary face floats. What? I'm not sure how to really use this. Tuple float. This is like XY, right? Okay, we'll give you face. We'll give you face is equal to some dictionary, and this dictionary will say bird 1. And we'll have a series of birds actually. But why is it float? Why is it string to float? That's interesting. I'm not sure how to really format this. Do you have an example? You don't have an example of detecting gaze. And that's the last of their features. Honestly, I don't even know what we would use this feature for. Yeah, I don't even know what we would use this feature for. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm pretty sure it won't work on bird eyes either. I'm pretty sure you would need a human eye, and then it would kind of detect the direction in which the human eye is looking, whether if it's directly at the camera or if it's off to the side somewhere. What other features does this model have? This is a pretty neat model, all things considered. Grounded reasoning introduces a new step-by-step reasoning mode and explicitly grounds reasoning in spatial positions within the image before answering, leading to more precise visual interpretation. So chart median calculations. Oh, wait. Can we try this out? Wasn't there that really fucked up graph from the OpenAI, like, reveal of GPT-5 or whatever? I want to see what it says about that. GPT-5 performance chart. Yes, okay. Save image as. We'll save you. Oh, fuck. Okay. We'll need to screenshot you. Hold on. Save as. graph.png. Okay. If you are unfamiliar, this is the graph that I'm talking about. You see how skewed this shit is? 52.8 is all the way up here, but they decided to skew these other two graphs so that GPT-03 is below the 52 mark despite being 69.1. These motherfuckers. But I want to see what it says about this graph. So let's actually change this to be graph.png. Graph.png. And we're going to use query. Query with the question of describe the performance of GPT-5. Or what is the performance? What is the performance of GPT-5? Let's just ask it this and we'll use reasoning equal to true. This is going to give us back answers and reasoning. Let's see if it is capable of deciphering this godforsaken messed up graph. Answers is not a thing. Whoops, answer. What is the performance of GPT-5? It just should have spit out 74.9, which is, I guess, the top here, but I would have expected a more verbose answer. We can change this up a little bit, but let's see. Let's see what the thinking says. The graph shows the accuracy of GPT-5 with and without thinking. The accuracy of thinking is 52.8, while the accuracy without thinking is 74.9. But it doesn't use the grounding, so let's give it a different question. How accurate are the how accurate is performance represented in this graph? Right? Only then it should try and compare the sizes versus the actual numbers. Be like, yo, this is bullshit. Okay, the accuracy is represented as a percentage, which higher values indicate better performance. This is not what I'm asking. I'm asking how accurate. Does this graph accurately represent the stats? I feel like these are asking too logical of questions. I would need to query as in just try and describe parts of the graph, maybe. It didn't say anything, and it didn't ground it with anything. The graph accurately represents the academic performance of software engineering students. The x-axis shows different GPT models, and the y-axis shows the accuracy in percentage. There is a sound. Oh, RDG, thank you for the 10 bits. Bro is still donating. The graph compares the performance of students without thinking. Without thinking. Oh my god. Leftover bits? Okay. Well, thank you, RDG, for the bits. Demonstrating that students with thinking perform better on software engineering tasks. Well, it is obviously not meant to be a chatbot, but come on. We gotta get one prompt where it actually uses grounding, right? Unless if I need to turn that on separately. Reasoning spatial references. Stream settings, no. I need to ask you something. which GPT model has the highest or tallest bar? I'm gonna get something out of this. Wait, you're still live? Yeah, there's a lot to play around with for this. GPT-5, still not using grounding. The tallest bar in the graph corresponds to GPT-5. Describe the relative size of each graph. Not using the grounding. I just want to see you use the grounding for something. Still not using grounding. It is doing everything through the reasoning text and not using the grounding, which I guess is like, you don't really need this grounding at all. You don't even need this grounding because I feel like most of it would be done by this text. But what the fuck is grounding for then? It's generating the grounding, but why is it different from thinking? Introduces a step-by-step reasoning mode that explicitly grounds reasoning in spatial positions within the... it might be to do with these spatial references. What the fuck are these spatial references though? Spatial refs. These come from .region, which come from here. Spatial references. It's a list of either point tuples or bounding boxes. Oh, why? I do not want to go through the effort to test this out, I'll be honest. That's fine though. I feel like thinking mode is good enough. We don't really need to try the grounded reasoning. What is grounding? It's basically like, I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure how it's being used here, but grounding generally is like giving it real information, right? Trying to give it real information such that it won't hallucinate, right? Something like actual textbook facts, or reminding it that it's in this certain context. Those are all things to kind of like make sure that the AI doesn't make up or hallucinate some bullshit or go off the fritz or whatever. Sharper object detection, this was pretty good. Distinguishing between blue bottle versus bottle. Faster text generation, which is pretty good. Improved UI understanding, that's also pretty good. Honestly, this model is really, really good. It is able to read out some text. In fact, let's try it out with input image, right? The pillow main page, and we'll query it. So this is inputs.png, and I want to query it to say, what does the first paragraph say? Let's just try this, and we'll keep reasoning on, because why not? Okay, so let's compare it. The first paragraph states that the pillow module provides a class for representing PIL images and factory functions. Which is true, but I was hoping it would kind of say the exact text. What is the exact text in the first paragraph? Let's see how good its reading abilities are. Or if we actually need an OCR model to do that for us. Nope, it's incapable. It seems to me that it takes the request, right? It takes the question and it kind of maps it. No. Maybe it kind of does some sort of processing to it, such that it reduces the question down to like a topic. And then this topic is used to guide the actual description of this query. So kind of like how we had first paragraph in this question as well as the previous question. Maybe it got reduced down to first paragraph. And so the model looks at only the first paragraph and then summarizes it, as opposed to actually like reading it out loud like I asked it to. Honestly, that's okay. That is fine, because I'm pretty sure the query is just meant to find and describe particular objects within the scene, right? Not actually to do reasoning or answer questions. I mean, it is capable of doing that, but I don't think that's the main purpose. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think that's a good place to leave it off for today. Yeah, just played around with this image model a little bit to familiarize myself with what's out there, I guess. Moondream is pretty cool. I'll see if I can actually use this for anything, or if I'm allowed to use this for anything. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to get to today. We'll probably do another coding stream sometime next week, where I play around with OpenCV a little bit, because that is something that I do really do want to try. Keep going. If I keep going, I am never going to finish a YouTube video now, am I? I really want to try out and play around with OpenCV. Specifically, I'm going to try and get it to make a pipeline to take screenshots of my screen periodically, send it through something like Moondream to describe what's going on inside of the image, and then see the kind of context we can get out of that and see if it's something that we can actually use as context for JAIs and to understand what's going on in a scene, right? But yeah, this will be for next time we do a coding stream, probably next week. Anyways, I am gonna go back to editing videos now. I will see you all again next week. So enjoy the rest of your days. Bye-bye.